Welcome to a weekend edition on reading on a newspapers and language learning series. Today on this video we shall try doing an interesting and engaging study on two awesome editorials found in the editorial page in today's newspapers. The editorial page is such a joy to read for many reasons, ain't it? Not only because it is the most important page from the perspective of the UPSC exams, but also because it helps us to structure our thoughts and arguments in such a beautiful, systematic and meticulous way, both in our speech and in our writing as well. Some of the richest content of the newspaper lies hidden within these editorial pages. And well, editorial pages help us comprehend how opening lines are framed, paragraphs are constructed, words are used to describe or to illustrate, figures of speech or quotes are used to embellish, the usage of the verb tense, the vocabulary, the grammar, and much more. On our video today, let's do a cursory study of two such interesting editorials found on two of today's morning newspapers. And so, here we go. Well, this brilliant and educative editorial piece is found on page 14 in today's The Times of India. It's titled A Post-Jobs World and it's written by R. Jagannathan. Well, I found this editorial piece quite interesting. It talks about a phenomenon called jobs without growth. Is it really possible? If so, is it good for the nation? We analyze this editorial in detail. Let's have an outline of the structure of this article. First, it talks about jobless growth, how jobs didn't keep pace, reviving jobs may not sustain, and two reasons why they won't sustain. The first reason, the second reason, and then the two trends that are responsible for the situation. The first trend, the second trend, and then his own concluding remarks that are quite catchy also. Now let's move on to yet another brilliant editorial piece in the editorial page of today's The Hindu, which is by Stanley Johnny and it's titled Biden and the West Asian Tinderbox. Well, again, before we do a detailed discussion of this editorial piece, let's first have a grasp of the structure of this editorial. He has beautifully structured it like this: three decisions that help draw a broad outline of Mr. Biden's West Asia policy, the first decision, the second decision, and the third decision. Then he proceeds to enumerate on the three challenges for Mr. Biden, the President of the United States of America. The first challenge, the second challenge, and the third challenge. Then he follows it up with his own concluding remarks, again with a beautiful takeaway for us. Now I would like to draw your attention to this impactful opening sentence in Jagannathan's article here. The dystopian world of jobless growth. I repeat, the dystopian world of jobless growth. Dystopian world, jobless growth, has been staring the world in the face for decades now. How do you say that? I mean, how do you call it a dystopian world of jobless growth? That's when Jagannathan beautifully backs up his claim with evidence and illustrations from the past, something that good writers always do. Back up your claim with solid evidence. I repeat, back up your claim with solid evidence. And now he quotes or cites from illustrations, historical evidence or examples from the past. Now Jagannathan outlines his two good reasons, the first one, the second one, and then proceeds to back it up with good vocabulary like unicorns, guzzling millions, Luddite solutions, and then proceeds to give us two good books for reference also. These are the two good books that he cites for reference: author Jeremy Rifkin's The Zero Marginal Cost Society and Andrew McAfee's More from Less. And what, pray, is the takeaway? Here he beautifully outlines it also. The broad takeout is simple, he says. India's future is in services and not agriculture or manufacturing. All our policies should be oriented towards making our services super competitive and not focus on reinventing the manufacturing wheel or try to retain too many underemployed people on the farm. Now let's move on to study the editorial piece in today's The Hindu newspaper. Here again you have an arresting opening sentence where Stanley Johnny begins like this: It took just 36 days for United States President Joe Biden to order his first airstrike abroad since taking office. I repeat the opening line. He says, it took just 36 days for United States President Joe Biden to order his first airstrike abroad since taking office. Now, how beautifully he structured this article. The three reasons or the three decisions, he says, the first decision, the second decision, and the third. Then he has a good vocabulary also. Even in the heading, you find the word tinderbox. The word tinderbox means anything that is easily ignited. Stanley also, like Jagannathan, backs up his claim by citing from instances in the past. Mr. Stanley then proceeds to enumerate on the three challenges facing Mr. Biden, the first challenge, the second challenge, and the third challenge, and follows it up with some good proverbs, idioms, and figures of speech. And then he gives us a very interesting conclusion. The United States today is a sunset power in West Asia, and its strategic focus is on China. He says, both America's allies and rivals know that. The US today is a sunset power in West Asia, and its strategic focus is on China. Both America's allies and rivals know that. And in geopolitics, consequences need not necessarily follow the plan of action. And in geopolitics, I repeat, consequences need not necessarily follow the plan of action. That brings us to the end of our analysis of two good editorials in today's newspapers in English. Now why wait? Grab a copy of today's morning newspapers, all for yourself, and plunge headlong into the sweet confines of the editorial page right away. And don't forget to have a pen, a diary, and a dictionary quite near you to jot down those beautiful words, idioms, and phrases. Yes, you may start right away at that. Well, that's all for now from the editorial page of today's morning newspapers. Until we meet again next week, once the weekend is over, on yet another interesting and engaging section from the day's newspaper, it's me, Rufus, signing off for now. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend ahead. Thank you.